Welcome to Insightful Gaming, your home for the most rad and robust Destiny loadouts. Today, we're diving into a wicked Arc Warlocks setup. It's more than just a blast to play, it's gonna make you feel unstoppable. We're dusting off an oldie but a goodie, the Getaway Artist Exotic, a piece of gear that's been gathering dust in many of your Destiny closets. Let me tell you, this beast tears it up in PvE. The Getaway Artist has a sweet perk called Dynamic Duo. When you trigger this baby, your Arc Grenade morphs into a Sentient Arc Soul, boosting you for 20 seconds. If you're scratching your head wondering what a Sentient Arc Soul is, picture a drone that's got your back, blasting your enemies with lasers. It's like a beefed-up version of the Arc Soul you get from your Healing Rift. The icing on the cake. Dropping a Healing Rift, or even just stepping into one, resets your Sentient Arc Soul's timer, giving you another 20 seconds of this killer sidekick. But there's a trick to it. Make sure your Sentient Arc Soul is active before you pop a Healing Rift. If it's not, you'll just get a regular Arc Soul. And if you try to consume your grenade to summon your Sentient Arc Soul with a regular Arc Soul around, you'll only get amped up and the Sentient won't be summoned. You'll need to wait for the Rift to fade before you can resummon your Sentient. Easy tip, don't call your Sentient when your Rift is up. No worries though, a few missteps, and you'll have it down pat. Alright, enough rambling. If you got a kick out of this loadout and found it useful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, drop us a comment, and hit that subscribe button for more wicked gaming content. Let's get into the build. Moving to our arsenal selection, it's imperative that we choose weapons that truly amplify the prowess of this build. Our primary weapon choice is Tarnished Metal. What makes it invaluable for our setup is the Volt Shot perk. When we reload after dispatching an opponent, the weapon gets a temporary power surge, causing its next strike to jolt. We're coupling this perk with Demolitionist, where this weapon's final blows boost grenade energy significantly. Moreover, triggering your grenade ability automatically refills this weapon from the reserve. While Tarnished Metal is a go-to, there are other compatible weapons for this build. One such option is the Centrifuge. A couple of factors bolster its case. Auto rifles are in vogue this season, making Centrifuge an evident choice. What's also noteworthy about this exotic is its seamless synergy with our setup. It boasts a unique perk, Overcharge Capacitor, that results in a blinding detonation each time an enemy falls to this weapon. This trait particularly shines in high-intensity scenarios like Masters and Grandmasters. Furthermore, the Regenerative Motion perk ensures you barely feel the reload time as movement partially refills the weapon. Another contender worth considering is the Trinity Ghoul. As for the heavy weapon slot, the choice is yours. Our primary objective with this setup is to maximize your abilities, particularly emphasizing your grenade and Healing Rift skills, crucial for powering your Sentient Arc Soul. The game style we're targeting is straightforward yet potent. Everything revolves around your Healing Rift and your grenade, amplified by our exotic gear. Initiate our dominant combo by consuming your grenade, activating your Sentient Arc Soul. If you're in close combat, unleash your melee. Otherwise, deploy your Healing Rift and begin shooting your primary weapon, which delivers a jolting effect to adversaries. This jolt triggers a chain lightning reaction, harming adjacent foes and potentially stunning overload champions. Additionally, eliminating jolted enemies produces extra ionic traces. Your Sentient Arc Soul isn't just for show. It delivers heavy blows, eliminating standard foes while generating more ionic traces. By now, your grenade should be recharged, so use it to maintain momentum. Your aim is to sustain your Sentient Arc Soul, supported by your Rift. Throughout this sequence, you will be awash in ionic traces, replenishing all your abilities, enabling continuous damage output, with a plethora of ionic traces earned from defeating jolted foes and weapon usage. Re-entering this loop becomes effortless. Let's delve into the abilities that elevate this build. First, focusing on our super, we employ Chaos Reach, a super that delivers a potent burst. With Chaos Reach, you unleash a concentrated arc energy beam that consistently wears down a single target. As the damage intensifies, surrounding areas experience sporadic lightning strikes. An added advantage of Chaos Reach is the option to terminate it prematurely, conserving valuable super energy. For boss encounters, Chaos Reach shines, whereas Storm Trance excels in clearing large groups of adversaries. Transitioning to grenades, our choice is the Pulse Grenade. Personally, I believe it stands out as one of the premier arc grenades, and its potency is enhanced with our selected aspects. For our melee, Ball of Lightning is our pick, but Chain Lightning serves as a viable alternative. Lastly, our class ability is the Healing Rift. This skill allows us to manifest a rift that continuously heals those within its vicinity and gives an Arc Soul to both you and your entire team. Believe me, this significantly boosts your group's damage output. Let's switch gears and deep dive into the aspects. The first key player is the Arc Soul, a cool sidekick that pops up every time you trigger a healing rift. This charged up buddy does more than just tag along, it shocks enemies, helping cut down the enemy numbers while also dealing some extra damage. And get this, each enemy our electric buddy takes down, it cranks out ionic traces. These traces charge up our ability energy. And if your rift is on steroids, your Arc Souls turn into big guns with a faster fire rate, making them even more effective. Basically, our rifts are pulling double duty. They heal, and with our Arc Souls and our exotic, they bring the big guns. Moving on, our second key player, Electrostatic Mind. This aspect is all about the ionic traces. We lean on these traces big time to keep our gameplay loop spinning. Create these helpful traces by taking out enemies with your arc abilities or by taking down a jolted or blinded bad guy. Each ionic trace you collect powers you up and helps juice up your abilities. This means you'll have your healing rift and Arc Soul buddies ready to roll even faster. The Electrostatic Mind is the engine of our setup, pumping out our ability production, which is crucial for our gameplay cycle. With our setup, we'll be cranking out a steady string of ionic traces. Moving into our next section, we've picked 4 fragments that fit perfectly with the abilities we've been talking about. We're kicking things off with Spark of Resistance. This fragment gives you a buff to your damage resistance when you're swarmed by baddies. Up next, we're using Spark of Shock, where your arc grenades zap your enemies. This fragment is super crucial because with our setup, we'll have loads of grenade energy, allowing us to keep our Sentient Arc Soul up and running, and still have enough to chuck at enemies to deal a ton of damage and spawn a crazy amount of ionic traces. Then, we have Spark of Ions. Taking down a zapped target creates an ionic trace. And finally, we're using Spark of Magnitude, making your pulse grenades last longer. This is a super strong fragment. Keep in mind, this build is all about going full throttle. It might take some practice to get it just right, but the trick is going to be smart rift placement and quick reactions when enemies get too close for comfort. Brace yourself for some speed button mashing, tossing grenades and popping your healing rift for both defense and attack. Let's shift focus and delve deeper into our armor mods, each being a crucial component of our configuration. On the helmet, we've incorporated Harmonic Siphon. This ensures rapid final blows with your arc weapon yield orbs of power. Not only do these orbs accelerate your super, but paired with our additional armor mods, they also replenish your abilities, grenades, and melee energy. We've also integrated Dynamo, which slightly reduces your super's cooldown whenever you activate your class ability near adversaries. Considering the build's emphasis on close to mid-range combat, you'll witness its efficacy swiftly. Additionally, we've installed the Heavy Ammo Finder mod, enhancing the likelihood of heavy ammo drops upon securing a kill. If your primary weapon is exotic, your heavy ammo acquisition rate increases. Transitioning to the gauntlets, we've chosen Bolstering Detonation. This mod bestows some class ability energy every time you inflict damage using a grenade. Additionally, there's Focusing Strike, awarding class ability energy upon melee attack damage. Rounding it off, we have Firepower, ensuring grenade final blows spawn an orb of power. For the chest armor, I'd advocate for defensive mods that resonate with your combat style. However, I'd certainly suggest integrating a Charged Up mod, which augments the maximum number of armor charge stacks you can possess by 1. Concerning the boots, we've outfitted them with Innervation. This mod trims down your grenade's cooldown with each orb of power you collect. We're also leveraging Recuperation for health restoration upon orb collection. Moreover, we're incorporating Elemental Charge, a novel mod from Season 21, granting an escalating likelihood of acquiring an armor charge when collecting an ionic trace. Given the anticipated surge of ionic traces, this mod is indispensable. Lastly, for the Warlock Bond, we've employed the Bomber mod, which trims your grenade's cooldown each time you deploy your class ability. Concurrently, we've introduced the Utility Kickstart mod. When your class ability is entirely utilized, you receive class ability energy. Concluding our setup is the Reaper mod. Post-class ability use, your subsequent weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. Now, let's talk about the seasonal mods to make your build even more awesome. For the first row, just grab whatever anti-champion mods you need based on what you're facing this week. In the second row, go for Diviner's Discount. This one doesn't need much explaining, it's just a solid choice. Now for the third row, pick Elemental Orbs Arc. If you're running Arc subclass, eliminating enemies with your weapon will drop Arc Orbs. In the fourth row, 3 mods for you. First, Elemental Fury makes champions you stun take extra damage from your abilities and those Arc Orbs you're making. Second, go with Communal Pickups. When an ally destroys or picks up your Elemental Orb, you gain bonus damage with weapons matching your subclass for 10 seconds. Finally, Refreshing Pickups gives you a little boost to your weakest ability meter every time you grab an Arc Orb. Finally, last row time. First up, Monochromatic Maestro gives your weapons and abilities a little extra 10% more damage for 5 seconds after using them. And second, use Rapid Fire Ranger. This one's for sniping. Hit those far-off enemies with quick, accurate shots and they'll become weaker for a little while. This is optional, as you can also use the elemental munitions for that sweet heavy ammo. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this build and found it helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, drop comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more exhilarating builds and gaming content. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic rest of your week.